Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. December is here. It's full of festivity and laughter and joy. But there's a lot of anxiety sometimes regarding house helps. Will they come back? Will they go? Will they stay? Every woman's fear, okay? And today we're going to discuss about house help. How do they stay long? How can we, support them? What challenges are they facing? Stay tuned. This video is brought to you by Sila's Oven, where every bite is a new experience. From cakes, cookies, cupcakes, and treat boxes, your Christmas celebrations just got a lot sweeter. You can now order up using the numbers on the screen. Sila's Oven, tastily different. So to talk about this conversation with house helps, I have a lovely guest with me. Please welcome Angela.
Hi.
Angela she's going to introduce herself, but she is such a homemaker. She's passionate about this house help conversation, just like I am, and she's going to be sharing with us all her knowledge. So Angela, please introduce yourself. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you. So, hi everyone. My name is Angela Mirembe. I'm a doctor, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and I'm passionate about homemaking. I'm also the proprietor of Jolly Bloomers. It's a company that trains your nannies. We're really a home management service. We train your nannies, we make meal plans for families, weaning plans for toddlers and even infants. We also deliver low-calorie meals for people who are looking to lose weight. So are you a mom who is really struggling with postpartum weight? Yes, we can help you. I work with a nutritionist, so we are scientists that are improving your home experience. Yes.
Wow, so much in one package. So, Angela, we're talking about this house help journey. It's a struggle.
I know.
Many people are struggling,
That's true.
Yeah, especially now Christmas time. Will she come back? What if she goes? So I just want to hear from you. What has your journey been like with the house help?
Okay. Thank you, Lisa. So I've been married 7 years. When I got married, I was very lucky that there's a house help who was looking for work, and she'd worked for my parents for about 10 years. So she came when I was in S5, so she'd seen me when I was a young girl, and my mom was arguing with me to do housework, and of course I would be refusing. Yes. And here I was going to employ her as my maid. She was a big lady, so you would come home and think, okay, is this the mother of the house?
Yeah, and this one is the...
Yes. So she was looking for work, and I was very ready to employ her. So we went, and if you're getting a house help who worked for your mother for over a decade, she literally knows everything.
She's just
Yes, she knows everything. So I just felt like, I'm sorted. Yes, I knew how to cook and clean, but I felt like, I have my person here.
I've hired someone.
So I would really never do anything at home. Like, she would ask me every day, hey, what do we cook today? I hated the question of what do we cook today, but I had never thought of a work around it. So every day she would tell me I would tell her what we need to cook. And she had big eyes. Like, when she would even cook matoke would remain, posho would remain.
Too much food.
Yes, too much food. And then the next day, people want to eat leftover matoke. And I'm asking her, why do you want to eat this leftover matoke? Why can't you just make what's enough? Anyways, so a year later, I got a baby, and well, she would sort me. I even feared my child. Like, I was like, now this child who cries in the night. But I told myself I'll never wake a maid up in the night to carry my baby. That's the cross for me and my husband to carry. Yes, we are the parents. So I said, this cross I'm going to carry it. But my son didn't like eating, so it was such a struggle. She's the one who would feed the baby, would always dodge meal time. So when she wouldn't be around, Banango would all be sweating. I remember we would dance for our child, would, do all things. We'd sing. We would even break our rule of no TV at meal time, just so that, we could try. Yes, eat a spoon. Daddy's jumping, I'm here bringing a spoon. It was really such circus whenever she would be away. And anyway, so later I figured, maybe I can be taking my kids to my mom when she's not around. I found something, even like looking for food in the meat to cook maybe in the freezer was so challenging, because she's the one who knew everything. Like, you know, me, I would just buy, tell her put there. So when she's not around, I'm like, now I start looking for things. Let's
too much
go.
work.
Too much work. Let's go to Java's. Let me take the child to my mom to suffer with him. Yes. So anyway, I got a second child, and really I could see that I think the work was a bit overwhelming, but she was such a boss. She didn't want to, you know, get a second person to help her. At some point we stayed with her daughter, and the daughter would support her, but then eventually the daughter left. Yeah. So anyways, one day I take away Mbera where she knew I was going to quarrel with her. So I quarreled with her, but you know, I felt like my terms were so good. I mean, I was paying well.
She needed you.
She needed me. We were educating her children. Really, I felt like, she's
you are
really,
comfortable.
We are all comfortable. So she, you know, I quarreled with her. I told her, now, you know, I want to go to work. You're telling me you want to go to town, you know. I was very rude, And then, you know, Nemusomera also me that you really, for what I'm doing for you, like, you know, you shouldn't treat me this way. Then I told her it was a Sunday and she wanted to go to Masaka on a Monday. So I told her, you know what, if you're not here by 7 p.m. tomorrow, don't even return.
Don't come back.
I also felt like boss.
Power.
So anyways, Monday comes, 7 p.m. she's not yet here. I'm like, this chick didn't get scared.
She's trying to try me.
Anyway, 7:30, I receive a call from my mom. She tells me, no. Harriet has said, Tino, yo mulimwagumaze, she's not coming back. I'm like, you're joking. How? So, by the way, I started sweating. I was like, oh my goodness. What? She's going? Is it for real? You know? My husband by then was working up country for some days of the week. So that day he was on his way to where he was going to work. So I call him, he was on the bus. I call him, I tell him, my goodness,
she's going.
What do we do? He's like, oh my God, why did you dry her? I'm like, but I needed to dry her.
I need to make my point.
Yes. So anyway, he's like, okay, let me also call her. So he calls her. He's like, please, Harriet, I'm begging. Okay, just wait for me to return.
Please give us some time.
Yes, give us some time. You know, oh my God. Banange, everyone was begging. My mom also called and told her, okay, at least kulwaba nasigala.
Because of the children.
Yes.
Like the whole village.
The whole village, my aunties, you know, the news spread. People called
was so powerful,
she was, by the way, she was really powerful, you know. So anyway, she says, you know what? I'll stay for 3 months to help you train your new person. I was like, hey, okay.
At least go.
At least go. By the way, my dad even summoned her for a meeting when she returned on Monday. You know, I rushed to I left my mother's home at 6. I left my home at 6 a.m. to go to my mother's home with my children, to leave them there so that I could go to work the following day, you know. And so when she was returning on Monday, they told her, you come home. So she went to my parents' home. We sat in a meeting. We were really discussing. My dad also, my dad usually teases us that we overkutijisa with our maids. He's like, you people, now see you're begging.
You've reached it.
Yes, you're begging. So anyways, we see she was really consistent that she is leaving, you know. So we had to get another person. So now, when she started training this person, oh my goodness, she would be so rude. Like, you know, she was now like my boss. Anyway, the 3 months didn't end. She lasted only 2 weeks after that. And, you know, I just allowed, let me release this lady. I will sort myself out because I knew what I needed to do. But in my mind, I was stuck to her. Yes, I couldn't imagine.
How long had you been with her?
So I'd been with her for 3 years.
3 years is long. I've been with mine for 4 years. And if she tells me she's going, I may be in panic mode, but
Yeah, anyway, so the person she even trained, after she left, I felt like, no, this person can't do what I want. And by the way, at that point, I decided that I'm going to employ 2 ladies for help. One to mind the children and one to do the housework. And I also had a boy who would mind the compound, washing cars and all those things. So anyways, in that season, I went through 2 before I got the right one. The one who came to cook came and she was great from the beginning. The ones minding children, so one, you get home, your children are dirty, they have food on their clothes, you know, they're all looking like children. You don't understand. Yes, so I'm like, is this what I really want, you know? And then I found a workaround. I made my children actually already had a menu for their food, like what is it that she's supposed to prepare. Remember, we are not home at lunchtime, and then they are young babies. Like, I mean, they can't exactly eat some of this hard food that the adults are eating. I mean, one was 7 months, the other was 2 with a terrible appetite. Yeah. So they had their own menu. So now one of these maids, you would ask her, okay, what's for breakfast? I mean, there was a routine for breakfast. Then she tells you something as random as, breakfast is going to be Irish potatoes. And I'm like, but there's a menu. And there are no Irish potatoes at breakfast. Like, you know. Yes, what's going on? So, but she was really like a happy girl, but I was not getting what I wanted. So I had to release her. And I mean, she had been sent to me by my grandmother. Her mother was my grandmother's neighbor. So, you know, she was really a person that you know properly. But I was like, let me release her. So I got another lady now who was about 28. She was a mother. I thought maybe let me try mothers, they'll be better. This lady couldn't be bothered with my child. Like, you know, she real so this boy doesn't like eating. Me, I won't do it. She chow. So the houseboy is the one who would feed him. You know, mornings were so stressful. I was getting to work late because I would try to feed my son first. Bambi, I was suffering. And she also I think figured, I'm not doing this right. So somehow she told me that she wanted to see her children at the end of the month, and I just knew she wanted to go. And the other one told me that I don't think, by the way, this lady wants to work. So anyways, I also released her. Each of those lasted a month, by the way. But me, my thing was, I was not going to settle. One thing my dad told me in that season was that, you know, if you settle with the wrong help, you'll never meet the right one.
That is so true, because many times these helps like hold us at ransom, as if they know that you need them, so sometimes you're caught in that whole mix of, but what if I get someone worse? Kale, this one, let me just kuguma, which again also makes you, it's like you're in prison in your own home. So I like that. Don't settle. Try. If this person is not meeting your needs, I think it's important to just keep looking. So I eventually got one who now was amazing. You know, when she came, she told me, you know, I was a mom who loved procedure. Like, you know, you go to baby center and they tell you meal time is in a feeding chair. So I had my feeding chair. My child had to eat in the feeding chair, you know. But now, you know, I used to see my super maid, she used to struggle with him. And then the feeding chair also became something of convenience for her because it would restrain him. So she would even call the houseboy, hey, come, let's feed him. So really what they would do, like the houseboy would hold his hands and then she's bringing the spoon. And my husband would ask me, but really, Angela, is that what you want? Say like, what you want.
I told him, you see, now we also can't feed the child. Like,
what
do we do? Let's just allow. Well, like, you know, mealtime was traumatizing for all of us. Sometimes he would vomit and then she has to cook food again. In fact, when she was leaving, she really assured me, remember, your child would even vomit. I would have to cook food like 3 times, you know. I was also fearing my child. So anyway, this new one comes. She's like, Auntie, maybe let's try feeding him when I'm carrying him. Maybe he doesn't like the chair. So we ditched the chair. My son started eating. Right now we are struggling with him to eat less food.
He's eating too much now.
He's eating too much. Like, he became a new child. And imagine, remember how I was such a slave, you know, to this person. So I picked some lessons at that point. You know, I didn't like doing housework, but I knew what I wanted. So in my recruitment process, I started thinking that, you know, you need to ask these people because you might be shocked. So, of course, I called up some agencies and, you know, some lady told me, you know what, the maids who have work experience, they no longer want to work in homes where they have children, you know. The maids just tell you, but mama, tevasima. Like, you're always complaining, you'll never appreciate, you know, it's always, oh, my child this, my child that. I was like, banangi. And, you know, you also run out of relatives to ask for maids. So in that season, I decided, you know what? I'm going to be very serious about my interview when I'm employing someone. So, you know, sometimes we assume also that just because, okay, someone is from the village, life has been hard, they are broke, they are ready to be a maid. But the same way we have like normal people who also don't like doing housework, even among these people who, by the way, seem like not so well to do. There are people in there who also don't like doing housework. Like, you know, they would rather be in a shop, you know, pass me this, pass me that. I mean, it's not like working in a shop might need so much English.
Yeah.
If someone comes, jagala lugoye, oh,
You give
try
them.
on, give them. Or even working in the market, you know. Those are jobs where it's just, you know, you're sitting and you're passing by people. Imagine someone brings you to this huge house. She tells you start
Mopping, washing, what about what?
Yes, you know, it's a lot of work. Even we don't like doing it ourselves. So, you know, you need to gauge and ask this person, like, you know, and then also in your recruitment process, ask for how long do you want to work.
Yeah.
You would be shocked when someone tells you I'm going to work for only 2 months.
And I go.
Yeah, and then after 2 months when she's telling you I'm leaving, you're like, but are you serious? How can you go after 2 months? But you didn't ask.
And that's very important.
Yeah.
So I have a house help kit that I developed, and it's out. You can check it out in the link in my bio. Part of it is recruitment guide. You need to carry out interviews. Guys, just because you want a maid yesterday, someone tells you, hey, I have someone you just bring. And then you've not asked them these questions. You've not assessed them. Who are they character-wise? Because yes, mopping and cooking can be taught. You can say you clean here, what? But character, if someone is a bad person, is rude, they have issues, they're going to come into your home and then you get challenges, you know. So I think it's on us, the employers, to always ask the right questions. And not every good maid who is good in your home can work in my home.
Yes, that's
because your
true.
home is different. It has certain structure. Mine is also different. There are homes where kids sleep at any time, you know. Food gets ready, that's when you eat. Like, there's no structure. So I think understand where this maid is coming from. What did she like about her previous job? Are those some of the things that are in your home? It could cause some problems, you know. So I think it's important that we ask. That recruitment is very, very key.
Yeah, and then one other thing that we would need to talk about in recruitment is, imagine, you know, have an age that you would want to recruit. Like, how can you recruit a 14-year-old and you want to leave her in charge of 3 children, a house, you know? It is true that there are some 14-year-olds who might be hardworking, but, you know, imagine your child at 14. Like, can you leave them to look after? Yes, with a baby, and then tell her you have to mop and what? So look into your recruitment criteria. Then the person's past is really important, you know? My maid who lasted another 3 years with me, the one who came to cook, after the super help left. You know, when she came, she was always sad and moody. She had a child who was the same age as our son. And you know, like whenever I tried to speak to her, like, what are your goals? She would just start crying, you know.
What, she was not seeing
future?
Yes,
she wasn't seeing future. And then she told me she went through a lot. I think her family had rejected her baby daddy. She got pregnant as an adolescent also, you know. So she'd been through so much that gone to police, court, what. She had so much pain. I even used to fear her being around my children.
Yeah, because that vibe, your children feel it.
Yes, but the good thing is she wasn't the one minding the children, and I was like, okay, at least I have some 2 other people around. So now I really looked at it and imagine maybe you have a housemate, you've both been dating your boyfriends, then your housemate's boyfriend leaves her, then for you, you continue here, your boyfriend comes to visit you,
babe,
you know, and you're like, babe, but how do you really expect your housemate who has just been through heartbreak to feel it? So I figured, you know, we bring some of these maids, like, you know,
the husband
left her with these 3 children, she's really struggling, and then you're here for you, always like, babe,
with your husband,
how's your day? And how you're really just, you know, enjoying your babe.
So you're saying part of the recruitment, find out the background of the person, where they're coming from, do they have a family, what's the state of the family, all those things have a role in the way. I want to just add an example on age. So for me personally, the first help I got, who was the first help, the live-in, she was way older than me, and you know, I just gotten married, I was pregnant, and I had just given birth. I was young, like, you see. She wanted to be like my mom. Everything I would tell her, let's cook this. Neda, no, let's cook this. I'm like, so I had a lot of back and forth in my own home because she wanted to be like my mom, as if. So for me, I realized, someone older with that character who is very, she may not work for me. So some of the things to look at. I want us to talk about salary. Because many times people pay these helps so little.
I agree.
And it affects how long they stay. Because we're discussing how can we keep these house helps for long? Because 1 month, they're running away. You know, 2 months, they are not there. So those are some of the things that can affect them. What do you think about salary?
Yes, so I'll tell you a story. One day I got to fuel my car and I wanted to put a full tank of fuel. So I used to go to the same petrol station. I liked their fuel rates. Yeah, so the pump attendant had even become my friend. So I used to have a lot of light banter with her, you know. So one day she tells me, but madam, the amount of fuel you put in your car is just my salary plus 30K. You know, so she basically was telling me she was earning 230,000.
Yeah.
So, and I figured, you know, this lady is coming to work. She has children, because we used to have banter, so I knew she had children, and she was obviously leaving her children with a maid.
Someone,
yeah, with someone. So this person who's earning 230K, obviously you might not even expect her to pay more than 50K to a maid, because I mean she has to rent. She has to transport herself to work. Maybe she even walks to work, you know. But basically on 230K, I don't think she can afford much more than 50K for a maid, yeah? So you find people earning maybe even a family that has a total income of, you know, like say 6 million, for example, also wants to pay 50K.
Why? 100K?
Like, why?
When you're earning
Yes.
6 million, honestly.
Yes. And you know, sometimes we think there's this mentality that 100K is like
more.
the magic salary, you know, for the maid. But why? You know, she's also left her children with somebody. She's left them with her mother. You know, in my work as a doctor, I see a lot of children whose mothers are working as house helps and they've left their children with their grandmother. So you see how these grandmothers suffer with their children. Like the money that is sent back home is never enough, honestly. So if you have an opportunity to improve someone's life, why not? Like look at employing this person as an opportunity to, you know, to bless them and improve their life. You've employed someone with 3 children.
Auntie, people say, you know, people
you're
say,
eating my food.
people say, you know, I'm giving you food. You're not paying the car. All these things are here. Maybe some people pay medical. So some people feel like the help, by the end of the month, you have earned like maybe 1 million. Because people are giving you all these things.
No, Lisa, honestly, imagine someone has 3 children and at the end of the month she has 100K. Ipo, what does 100K still do in Uganda today?
Nothing,
you know? And even UPE schools have not really been free. Like they have to pay some money, you know? Like by the time she sends some money to support her mom and these children, like the money honestly is not enough.
So for you, you feel like how much is enough?
Well,
how should people pay?
Yes, so look at your income as you and your spouse. You see, first of all, one thing is, it's because of this help that you're actually able to go out and earn the money that you're going to earn. You know, imagine when you don't have a help, you can't go to work.
You'll be home.
Yes, you'll be home. Some people have chosen to be stay-at-home moms because of the hassle with the help. So that's one income, you know, less. So just think about it. If you're earning, maybe even as a family, you and your husband together can bring home 6 million shillings. Why can't you at least pay this person 200K? You know, her eating your food, not paying yaka. Yes, it's a cost, but
it's
people,
not
we
compared.
can't win on all fronts.
And I also feel like you've gotten even like a promotion, I mean like a salary increment at work. And call her, you know. And also those small things are like incentives. You know, just you've woken up, you're like, oh, go 5K for airtime. I think it just boosts her and feels like you're appreciating her, you're seeing her value.
I think that's unexpected money. Like imagine
like
how you're there and you get your unexpected money. Like, you know, be there and maybe give her, hey, Kati, you have this money and go and do something. Like, you know, something that is out of the salary, you know.
Yes. Kati Angela, food. Lots of helps complain. Like I did a live on my Instagram with the house help, with my house help, to give us a perspective on for them how they feel. There's another critical thing that people forget, and that is orientation. People bring in helps. You brought her on Sunday, tomorrow you're going to work, and you go, you leave her, you know, and then when you come back, you're frustrated, you're quarreling, you're saying she's done this and this. What do you have to say about orientation?
Yes. Now, usually when we are looking for house help, someone will say, you know, I want someone with work experience. No one wants a green person, usually. But then you forget that our homes are so different. I mean, you might be getting this maid who was working in a 2-bedroom house, and then you're bringing her to clean your 6-bedroom house, you know. Do you really think that work environment is the same? It's definitely not. Or you might get this maid who worked in a family that had 12 family members.
Yeah.
You know, she was used to cooking this huge muumbo of food,
Yeah.
and then, I mean, your family has 5 people, and then you're always quarreling with her. You're so wasteful of food, but you've not shown her how, when you're cooking food for 5 people, how do you measure food for 5 people, you know? And we also usually assume that, you know, this thing is obvious.
It's obvious.
Yeah, but
Clean
remember,
like this.
you've got someone from the village. Maybe if it's her first job, she's probably never seen a tiled floor. She's never seen a painted wall, you know, and you're thinking you're bringing her to clean this tiled floor that she's never seen. How will she know if she's never seen it?
Imagine, I did a poll on Instagram asking people what are the funny things that maids have done. And people were telling me that there's one who got wipes, like baby wipes. She would use them and then wash them for reuse. And then you're like, but whose fault is it?
Yes.
You get it? It's the employer's fault. If you did not train her and teach her how to use the things in your home, then it's not her fault, honestly. People are putting flasks in the fridge. So yeah, I think it's very key that we have some sort of guidance, an orientation guide, for people to, you know, so that you don't miss anything. Because you can do important things like kitchen, then you forget cleaning. Okay, and that is why I've developed an orientation guide in the house help kit to just help you check, to make sure that you've covered everything. Yeah, I think it's very key.
Yeah, it's very key. And one of the things we also do as Jolly Bloomers is we train your house help. You know, some people tell you, I'm tired of talking, or I don't even have the time to talk. Like, you know, I will not be able to do it. So we train your hired help for you. We don't hire helps for people. We simply train. Yes. So have a guide. You know, things are so easy when you schedule these tasks. Maybe tell her, Mondays you'll clean the windows, Tuesdays you'll clean the kitchen cabins. Like, you know, and keep telling her that once you walk into a room, everything that you see in that room needs to be cleaned. You know?
Don't only see things.
Like, everywhere needs cleaning. My current help, you know, one day I go to the bathroom, I see the door is dirty. You know how someone scrubs with vim, then things splash, and you know, so it was dirty. So I asked her, when we did the orientation, we talked about cleaning the doors as well. Have you been cleaning them? So she told me, you know, I've only been cleaning the ones in the bedrooms. And I'm like, okay, so how did you think the ones in the bathrooms
was supposed to be
was supposed to be clean if you weren't cleaning them? So imagine something that seems so obvious.
It's not.
Yes, so have the orientation per room. Tell her in the living room, this is what we do. You know, in the bedroom, this is what we do. How do you organize the children's clothes? We just throw them everywhere, or, you know, maybe put the short salon, put the t-shirt salon.
How to organize the wardrobe.
Yes, how everything. There's a way to organize everything.
The way you want.
Yes, the way
so
you want.
So that when she's doing the things, she knows that what things will frustrate you.
Yes.
She has them at the back of her mind.
Yes.
How should the fridge be cleaned? How often? Yes. Fridge can be there, milk has poured in the fridge, or meat, blood, and it's there for like over how many months?
Yes.
But you didn't tell her how, because in the other home they used to clean it once a year. Because maids go through a lot of change management. They have come from your home, you're doing things differently. Now they have come to my home, it's different. So walk them through. I think it's important also, don't just tell them, do this, do this. Show her.
Yes.
Show her.
Yeah.
In the corners. So do with her, let her do call alone as you see, and then you can fully let her go.
Yes, and then remember, when we are setting up our homes, we all want something beautiful. No one ever says, me, I don't care about where I'm going to stay. Like, you want to get a nice thing. Everyone wants something nice within their means. So when people are building their houses, people like big houses. People like big houses. But now, you wonder, as you're building that big house, are you thinking about how you're going to maintain this house? You know? Then now you bring the maid, you don't want to show her. That's how we come back to your home like 3 months later, and it's a ghost of what it was in the beginning.
Things have piled, cobwebs.
Yes. So the people that we are bringing to employ, that we are employing, you know, they need that guidance.
So guys, we have learned a lot. I hope you guys have also learned. But there is so much we have not yet covered. You know, this discussion is broad. So we're going to have a part 2 where we'll even talk about husbands and house helps, how to manage the situation. So please, don't forget to watch that episode. See you then.